Welcome back to Homelands and on 90.5 FM in Saskatoon, Homelands of the Métis and Treaty 6 territory. And we are now joined by our wonderful interdisciplinary artist, Curtis Peeteetuce, who's going to talk to us a bit about different projects he's been doing. And I'll just read his bio. He's an award-winning multidisciplinary artist from Beardy's and Okemasis Cree Nation. And since 2001, he has had the honor of working with many talented people in theater, radio drama, music, dance, and film. A storyteller, actor, writer, director, dancer, musician, and playwright, Curtis now works as a student achievement coordinator for the Greater Saskatoon Catholic Schools. He dedicates all his accomplishments to his wonderful son, Mohegan. So, Curtis, what would you like to tell us about working as a storyteller, artist, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, your dance troupe? Yeah.
Well, first thing I want to say is it's weird seeing an Indigenous person doing a acknowledgement. And you forgot the Hiawatha, Lakota, Nakota, Dakota, and Nishnabeg in your land acknowledgement. I
Mm.
always say that because I
Oh.
have friends who are really good. They're really good, and they're always saying, "Curtis, don't forget to say this." So, anyways, yeah, I'm doing great, doing great. Let's see, this would be my fifth year working in the school division now, the Catholic school division. I'm like a student support worker.
Mm,
The title was community school coordinator at one time. That's what the
mm.
current position I have now used to be, and now I'm the Indigenous Student Achievement Coordinator. And so part of my support work is providing, support in the classroom, support for the students and families in the school, and then support for the school community. So I work in support levels basically, and I'm able to really utilize my background in theater, the arts, and my Indigenous studies education, and apply that into my work. So it's learning. I'm really learning a lot. I'm learning all the time. I'm very happy with where I am now, and really excited. There's always potential. There's always everything to look forward to on a daily basis. It's great. I love it. Yeah.
Wonderful to see you working with the youth, you know. That's our future. Yeah. So it's
hmm
a great, great place for you. And are you able to and so tell us a little bit about the dance troupe that you have going.
Yeah, you bet. It's called Boatissimo, and Cree Boatissimo means dance powwow. It comes from Boatsimowin, which is the way we describe powwow dance in the Cree language. And it comes from Puatak, from what I understand, how we refer to the Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota nations who brought the dances here and taught us about the original warrior dances, one of them being the grass dance. So we honor those teachings and what they've brought here to teach us. And so we say Puatak, we say Puatsimowin, and obviously to say dance powwow, we will say Puatsimo, Puatsimo.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful to hear the languages and understand what they mean and then use that for such beautiful, cultural, artistic activity. I mean, is dancing kind of storytelling or like can you tell us more about powwow dancing and
Sure,
um
I'm 52 now. I started when I was 46. I started dancing. I'm a late bloomer. And when I first started, I was really embarrassed. I was ashamed. For one, I didn't think I was qualified to be a powwow dancer. Second, I grew up being ashamed of being Indigenous and not wanting to be who I am. I was very disconnected from the culture, language, and history. So that played a part in putting on the regalia for the first time. So it was very difficult. It was a difficult journey at first because of all of the things that we carry that have disconnected us from who we are. So that was the first thing I'll say about the dance. And so I recognize that in a lot of young people now, that same feeling, that same hesitance, the disconnection that we have. So I'm hoping that my role allows me to connect our children and our youth in ways that I wasn't able to be connected as a child.
wow, that's beautiful kind of context to what you're bringing to this whole project. Um tell me more about the youth response. How do they respond to that? I mean, you imagine you probably share your story with them and yeah.
I talk a lot about the dances. I talk about the teachings and the stories as they've been shared with me. I'm a sixth year dancer, so I'm still learning a lot about the stories, teachings, and the protocols. But with the limited knowledge I have, I am able to share that with the young people. And it helps, I guess, make a practical impression on who they are and how they connect to the dance. So, for example, the grass dance being one of the original warrior dances, among the other teachings is this story of a boy. And this boy, when he was born, his legs were different. They were irregular, not like the other kids. The story goes is that he was given a song, and when he was given that song, he shared it with the singers in the camp. And when that song was played, he danced his dance, which is the grass dance. And so you might see dancers who were taught that way move in a little bit more of an irregular way, bending the knees and kind of like they're learning for the first time. So I think that's a good way to share with our young kids that, yeah, there's a story that really can speak to you as you're learning this journey of dance.
That's beautiful. I've never heard that before, but yeah, it makes so much sense. Like I've seen grass dancers before, and that describes the movement really well. So I love that. Um, what else would you like to share about the some of the responses and some of the projects that you guys have going, some of the places you've performed?
Yeah, because of my body of work and my experience working in the arts, working with live performance and presentation, I'm able to incorporate some of that into my role as a support worker. So with the students, they're always students first, no matter what. So them being students, I have to place values into the program. So the values of academics, attendance, and attitude, the AAA system is what I work with. So you got to be done your work in school. You got to be in school and in class and present, and you also have to have a really good attitude, which means carrying the values of the school environment. So at St. Goretti, it's all about safety, respect, and responsibility. So if you're utilizing and sharing those values, then you're automatically into the program and you're displaying what we hope a lot of our students will display in their everyday lives.
Wow. So how long has the program been going for? How many years now, or is it fairly recent or?
Well, it just started with me.
Mhm.
Um, one of the four things I do in my role is culture. So with cultural programming, it's just powwow because there are a lot of students who are experienced with dance and powwow already. So that's an easy in for them, especially if they have regalia and at home if they have the support, then that really just helps the program flow so smoothly.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. And then do you guys perform well, obviously perform at powwows, but do you perform at other events or what kind of has your performance schedule been like or
Well, not so much this year because I'm in two new schools, but when I was with Awasasaka Nimituchik, St. Francis, we were busy every single month. We would have a monthly dance presentation in our gymnasium for the whole school. We would be out in the community. We'd be out at presentations, treaty medal ceremonies, in the classroom. We've been in the classroom as well. And then we take our students out to powwow. So anything and everything that can be connected to dance, cultural dance, is what we're doing in the community. And then we raise funds for doing presentations, and then all of that goes right back into the program. We can buy regalia for the kids. We can feed them some nice, rewarding lunches. We can take them out somewhere. We can buy them regalia. We have transportation. So it really is its own model. It's its own machine, the dance world, the dance program. And it's been very successful over the past 3 years.
awesome. That's great. And so are you guys doing any special events for Indigenous Storytelling Month or anything like that or are yourself?
Not so much. We've been busy the past 3 years in the world of dance, especially in the greater Saskatoon Catholic school system. This year we're kind of taking it easy because I don't have as many Indigenous students in the two schools I'm working in, and also the dancers are new where the schools in the schools that I'm working in. So I'm really not so much teaching them about dance moves, dance steps. I'm just providing opportunities for them to keep being courageous enough to try it. I think that's the most important thing is just fostering that courage that they have because that's the best gift that they have at this point is just to get out there in front of the people and say this is me, this is my culture and this is the dance that accompanies it.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. And and so aside from, the dance troupe and that kind of thing, how about some of your other areas of storytelling and expression and playwriting and directing and all that kind of thing? Have you had time to do some of that, or is that kind of is the focus mostly on the dance troupe, or um, yeah, how do you or do you bring some of
I'm
that?
so sorry you keep breaking up. I don't
Oh,
have your question because you broke up and froze.
okay. Yeah, I was just asking, like, in terms of your other forms of expression, artistic expression, storytelling, and playwriting and directing and that kind of thing. Have you been able to do some of that as well, or is it kind of the focus on the dance troupe, or um, did-
Primary role is making sure that the students, the children, the youth have what they need on a daily basis to be successful.
Mhm.
So whether or not they need to go to a doctor's appointment, I can provide a ride for them rather than calling mom up and saying, "Mom, come and pick up your child, take them to their appointment, and then come all the way back." Because a lot of parents don't have that capacity right now. They might have multiple children in the home. So as a support worker, I'm actually able to take that student to their appointment and get them right back to class. So again, supporting their success in that way is very, very important. As far as theater goes, not these days. I'm not so much involved in the world of theater as an actor, a director, as a producer. I am going to be doing some stuff in the classroom with some of the students I work with regarding playwriting. So I'm looking forward to that because it's a nice visit to the world that I really feel that I belong in and world that I kind of miss sometimes. I kind of miss that world sometimes, the world of the art and creativity. So I get to enjoy and share that with the kids. Next month, I'm going to be doing that.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, just because you have done so much work in that area. It's nice to be able to bring that to the kids, right? And it's kind of a nice fit with what you're already doing with them. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
you know, the interesting thing about dance is it really feeds a lot of my other interests and hobbies and gifts, like painting. You know, I've started painting again because in the world of dance and powwow, I'm inspired to share and create. So I've been doing a lot of painting that is an expression of the world of dance for me. But also too, I'm starting to learn and craft regalia accessories and everything that comes with dance as well. So I'm starting to learn a little bit of that as well, the crafting that comes with it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's a real tie-in to the visual arts as well as the physical arts and the expressive arts, right? That's awesome that that creativity is feeding. And so your artistic work in the visual arts, is it kind of does it tie in with powwow, or is it different, or what's it look like?
Yeah, it's like it ties in a lot. There are a
Mhm.
lot of connections in there that I didn't see before. And so being in the world of dance for 6 years has really opened my eyes to other worlds as well. It made me think about, wow, we could have or could do this kind of thing in the world of theater and dance together, coming together under the lights, the sounds, and creating stories around that world. So it's really exciting.
That's awesome. And so do you have any plans to kind of I know you did like a residency out at Wanuskewin, and I think that was visual arts, but do you have any plans to do like a tour at some point, or a gallery show, or is it just kind of for your own creativity right now, or
Right now, no, I'm full-time working in the school. So again, my biggest role right now is providing support for the students.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and in my evening life, my free time life, I don't really have a whole lot of time to, you know, uh, immerse myself back into the world of theater because, as you all know, theater requires a lot of time. You need very long, you need lots of time to create theater.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so true. And how old is your son now? He must be in high school, hey, or
Yeah, he's in grade 11 at Bethlehem, so he's been dancing since he was 4, and he's still dancing to this day.
that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah. Um,
Hmm.
what kind of have you been able to dance together, or is that kind of a journey that you've been able to make together, or
Oh, every summer, yeah, every
Mhm.
summer we hit the trail. We go on the powwow trail. Last year we did 15 powwows. Yeah, so we just spent our whole summer dancing and camping.
That's awesome. That's great.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's really great. And those are memories, hey, that will
Yeah,
just
and
last a
so
lifetime.
yeah, one thing about, I guess, doing the work that I'm doing now, being involved in the classroom, being involved in the school community, and then being involved in the world of cultural dance, um, keeps me busy. Those keep me busy now. Like to this day, I don't even have social media anymore. All I have is YouTube and email. So hit me up and subscribe. And you
So,
know what? I love it. I love it. I love not being on my phone. I'm barely on my phone anymore. And because I'm always involved thinking about dance, practicing dance, watching dance. I watch a lot of powwows online, getting to know who's out there. Um, Man, it's really, it's a really nice journey that I'm on, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So what advice do you have for maybe someone that might be thinking about getting back into powwow or starting with powwow? What kind of encouragement could you give them or um, advice?
Hmm. Well, I think it doesn't necessarily have to be about powwow or cultural dance or even with culture. I just think that we often hesitate as people when we want to try something new, especially when you find yourself like me. I started dancing in my late 40s.
Mhm.
Sometimes we just stop ourselves and go, you know what? I think my time has passed to do this, right? We tell ourselves those things, or we say, no, somebody's going to say I shouldn't do this. We tell ourselves things where we're worrying too much and then we just don't end up doing it. Um, it's all us being stuck in our own head when we do things like that. That's my advice to anybody, young and old, when you're encompassing a new journey in life. Just give it a shot. Give it a shot. You don't have to commit and say, I'll do this for 20 years. Just give it a shot, have that experience, make a memory, and you never know where it's going to take you.
That's beautiful. I love that. Just to be open, right? Open to new adventures, right? We get so stuck. I think that's a great word, hey? And stuck in our own heads and stuck in thinking, that there'll be criticism and really it's about, seizing that moment and choosing a new adventure sort of thing. Yeah, so what else in terms of I guess, advice or encouragement for artists and young people and listeners out there. We're kind of talking about Storytelling Month, but yeah, storytelling in general, I guess. Anything about storytelling or the importance of it and the various ways you can do it. Um,
I've been thinking a lot about writing one last play.
mhm.
I feel like I'm in my twilight years as a writer because there's other things I want to do after I've stopped writing. So I'm thinking about what's the last play I want to write. And I was talking to one of my cousins, and I said, I really want to write a human story, a real human story, the kind of story that we will want to hear, or how did I say this? The kind of story we want to listen to, but we don't want to hear. And so, with that, I think about what is going to be the story of the human. Give it 10, 20 generations down the road, if we're still here, what will be our story? That's the question I have. And I want to make sure that that is answered with truth,
Mm,
as opposed to beginning, middle, end, plot point, denouement, all that stuff, all the aesthetics of writing or a story. I just want to know what will be our story?
mm,
What will be the story of people or humans?
mhm.
My cousin said, "Well, you know what? I love humanity. I just can't stand people." And I said, "You know what? That's kind of neat. That's a neat little thought."
Mhm,
So these questions always pop into my brain all the time now. I'm at an age where, I've lost some significant people in my life, friends and family.
mhm,
And so I'm thinking about that journey of life, the stories we want to tell. What is the story as humans that we really want to tell about who we are and our place in space and our time here? So that's really been on my mind lately a lot. Um, Other than that, I do hope to get back on stage one day and act. I'd really love to do that because I do miss the stage. Until then, I really enjoy just sharing story, talking about story, being immersed in story with the young people in any form or format, whether or not it's a story that makes sense or a story that totally makes sense or makes no sense at all. So I like finding myself in these little worlds, and it's fun. And I'd like to say I'm still learning a lot.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's a nice kind of um I love that you are thinking of another play. I'm a big fan of your writing and love to see you on stage as well, acting, directing, producing, all of those things. So I'm glad to hear there's still maybe space for some of that. But also, you're doing really important work with the youth, right? And I'm glad to see you there. It's a very valuable contribution that you're making, with the powwow work and everything else. And yeah, so we have about like 5 minutes left. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about with like the powwow dancing or the youth or um, writing or storytelling in general? Any last thoughts there?
Well, not at this time, but you've really been breaking up a lot in this interview. I'm wondering if you'll want to, just do a review of it and see if it'll work for you, because
Yeah.
on your end, you've kind of paused a lot, and I'm not sure our viewers will know how we've found our way through this interview.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at the it's clear on my end, like your screen is freezing up a little bit, but the audio is clear. So I'm hoping that the audio is clear at least. But I will give it a look. Hopefully we don't
Okay.
have to do this over again, but yeah,
Well, I don't mind to do it again. I just want to make sure we do it right and that your
yeah.
listeners will get a good one.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that that it will turn out okay and they can make out what we're saying. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um yeah. Well, I mean it's been really nice to share this time with you and listen to more about what you're doing and especially working with the youth and the important work of, not only powwow dancing but supporting them on their journeys and reclamation of culture and language, dance, art, and playwriting, getting into some of that as well. And yeah, thanks so much for joining us today. Any kind of closing thoughts before we wrap up, or um, anything else you
I
wanted to?
was thinking about you the other day, and I was thinking about Dominion and what a journey we went on with that particular story. I was replaying images and scenes in my mind, and I went, "Wow, that was really something. That show, that was really something." And I'm glad I was there and when we did it.
I'm so glad, you really encouraged me to reach out to GTNT with that script and I'm so glad that you directed it and it was so powerful. Scirocco actually asked if I wanted to publish it, but I want to I want to do it one more time, kind of go through that script one more time. So yeah, I thanks for that mention. Yeah, I and thanks for your contribution, bringing it to life in such a beautiful way. And yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're still have, in touch with that theater world and that theater part of you because, your Cookham plays, the Res Christmas plays, all the many beautiful moments, funny moments, touching moments that you've brought to life. I'm glad to hear that that's still something you're gonna include, when you can. So thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, yeah, that was a really special time for me. That was how many? That was almost 10 years ago. Hey, like 20, was it 2018, 2017 or yeah.
Feels like it was a little bit before that because I was still artistic director. And
Mhm.
so I remember stepping down from AD, I think in 2015.
Okay. Yeah. So it was yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it's been a while, but yeah, that was
We're old.
we're old, yeah. Time marches by, eh?
I like how we always try to tell ourselves, wasn't that just like a year ago when it was actually like 20?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Hey, time
I've
flies when
become my mom. I'm my mom now.
Uh, yeah, well, yeah, I guess thank you so much for joining us today. You've been listening to Curtis Peeteetuce talk about, playwriting and directing and his dance troupe and storytelling in all forms. And you've been listening to 90.5 FM. So don't turn that dial. And thanks for joining us. You can find both of us on YouTube, and you can find this episode on YouTube as well. Hopefully, it will be clear enough. So, yeah, we had a little bit
Yeah,
of.
I apologize for kind of going here and there and everywhere. I didn't really think about what I wanted to say. I was just kind of going off the top of my head. So I hope it made sense.
It totally made sense. That was a wonderful journey and kind of encapsulated a lot of, I mean, as you're an interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary artist, so you have a lot to talk about. So, thank you for your work with the youth and have a good day.
Right on. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.